But my question is, Castiel has been badass the entire run. And he's been, as they showed in the music video for your intro, a lot of different fight scenes.
Yes.
Which one of these two are your favorite? The scene where Castiel beats the daylights out of Dean? Or the scene where Godstiel confronts death?
Again, it's my choice. Unbelievable. Well, I have not done, prior to Supernatural, I have not done it. I've typically been like the cute boyfriend who makes out with the girl. Like most of my stuff before Supernatural, there's at least one kissing and or sex scene in everything I do. And then I get to Supernatural and I'm this, celibate fighting guy, which I really didn't have that much experience with on camera. And it's a little weird because I don't know if you realize this, but when you're shooting something, typically you're not supposed to actually punch people. And so it feels a little weird, like you're hitting the air and stuff like that. So the first fight scene that I had on Supernatural was, I don't remember what season it was, but no, whatever, sorry. I know. But it was in a barn, there was a bunch of demons, no idea what episode it was. Anyone? Doesn't matter. So, came in and, it was where Anna gets vaporized.
Heaven and hell.
How could you possibly know that? So I came in and we did the fight scene and,
You got your ass kicked.
did I get my ass kicked?
You did.
Oh, I was fighting, what's his name?
Alistair.
Alistair.
Yeah.
Here, come here for a second.
What?
So, you're Alistair and I'm Castiel. And it was like we had the stunt coordinator come in and he did a little bit of choreography with us and it was like, I throw a punch like that, and then he throws a punch. Go ahead. Yeah, whoa. Scary, right? And then we shot it, and I saw like the rough cut of it, and it looked like this. I think I was punching like this. So anyway, in the final cut, they trimmed that down a little bit. It wasn't much of a fight at all. I just looked like I got punched, because that looked real. So I had to, then, it was a little embarrassing, because then they're like, Mish, awesome, so we got some more fight scenes coming up, and would love it if you would spend a few weeks training in a dojo with some of the top fight trainers in LA. And I was like, oh, sweet. Hey, is that an insult? And then they sent me in and it was like, literally, just to like generally teach me like how not to hit like this. They had like 8 like MMA martial artists in this like state-of-the-art gym. And I was like, oh, what are all you guys doing here? And they're like, we're here for you. Like, oh, sweet. So, all right, let's go. Anyway.
Yeah, actually, the truth is I really hadn't done stage combat before. I just remembered that I spent a summer studying at RADA, Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in London, yes. And I had a choice. I could either do stage combat or period dance. And I did period dance. So maybe that's where I went wrong, because we haven't had a whole lot of opportunities to utilize Elizabethan dance in Supernatural. But I know that that's coming. It'll happen. And then I'll shine.
Hey, left that side. Yeah.
Okay, so in the same episode you were just talking about, you got to beat up Dean.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, how was that?
Amazing. Okay. Well, first of all, I got to do the thing with the... What? And I actually it's a jujitsu move. It's a karate move. And we actually had a professional karate woman come out and show me how to do that. And I practiced over and over again. And I was like, this is very intimidating. I went out and bought new underwear. I'm not kidding. I was very, very nervous about it. And then I did it. He's like, get in there. Jensen was like, you need to get in there. And I was like, okay. And I mean, it was hilarious in the end. He sold every single part of it. But I have to say that it made me blush every time I did it. It was very close to my private parts of his head. And everyone thinks it's all romantic, but I mean, like, there's so many people staring at you, and it was amazing. Then we fought at the end, and we had a fight sequence. It was actually quite intense, and I did a lot of the stunts. I also had a stunt double, but I did a lot of all the close-up shots, and we did all the sequences myself too. And at one point, like, Jensen I came up and I went like this, and he was like, "What is that? Are you from the 1920s? What? Are you getting?" And he starts making fun of me right before we roll, and I'm like, "Oh no, you didn't." I got so angry. I walked up and I was like, "Bam!" And I hit him so hard I dislocated my thumb. I was so angry. And he was so right. Like, I looked like an idiot, I'm sure. And he actually made me look like much more of a badass because he made me lose my temper, which I never lose. Anyway, so it was great. He's so good at the fights, he doesn't need a double. And he's like, oh, what do I do? Okay, boom, 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 boom. He's like an action star. So it was good. That's all. Oh boy. Anyway, next.
Hi there.
I have a question about Dean.
I'm ready.
I don't know who's watched the latest episode, so I don't want to spoil it, but there's a particular scene.
Spoiler alert. She's covering her ears.
The fight scene between Dean and Cass and the way it was filmed. My question is, it seemed to mirror like a reverse of the crypt scene, or what they call the crypt scene in season 9. Was that on the page? Was that the director's interpretation? Was that something you and Nisha worked out?
No.
Are we seeing things?
You maybe seeing things. I think it was a happy accident. I think that the way that we choreographed that particular fight scene just kind of lent itself to feel like that same that previous fight. Although that really wasn't more of a fight. That was just kind of Cass pummeling Dean. Yeah. But I think there was a similar aspect, and that'd be an interesting question again for Bob if that was talked about in the writing room, because it wasn't written on the page, and it certainly wasn't conveyed to us that that's what they were going for. But it may have been the inspiration that was needed to write that scene. That being said, that was, it was a very emotionally similar scene, but I would say that, the choreography was obviously a little different, and there wasn't the, on the knees, pleading him to stop and that kind of thing, although he was pretty beaten up and asking me to stop. But did you all think that at that shot, was there a collective, no?
Didn't you hear it?
I might have. Yeah. I remember we were shooting it, Misha and I were like, oh, they are not gonna like this. They're gonna be so mad at me. But that was a really, I really liked that fight scene for some reason, just because it was really raw. In fact, there was at one point, when Dean was kind of slamming his face into the table. He was all the way up on the table, and one of the takes we used stunt doubles, except Todd, my stunt double, he was like, dude, you can do this. It's really just Misha's stunt double that's getting the... And I'm like, I'll do it. So I took Misha's stunt double, who was a different guy that day, and I'm blanking on his name, so forgive me. But he went in, and so I threw him against the table and started slamming his face, and he was all the way up onto the table, like his whole body, like up to his thighs, were up on the table. And when I pull him off, I literally grabbed the back of his belt and yanked him completely in the air, and he went wham and hit the ground. And I was like, wow, that felt pretty good, not gonna lie. But to literally just throw a man to the ground with full force is not something that many people get to do often, and I rather enjoyed it. And of course he popped up and he was like, oh, I'm good. You stunt guys are crazy. But yeah, that's a really good observation, and I'll have to ask Bob about that, if that particular fight scene was inspired by the crypt scene, as you call it.
We've kind of missed Dean and Cass being in the same room together this season, but that was probably a little more violent than what we wanted, but thank you.
Hey, yeah, you asked for it. You wanted some more, Cass and Dean stuff, so there you go. Hi there.
So, in the last episode of Supernatural,
Yes.
Dean and Castiel had a really intense fight scene.
Yes.
So, what do you think will be the impact on their friendship, and what was it like shooting this scene with Jensen?
Well, the fight impacted me and Jensen's friendship quite a bit. I mean, after that, I kept on being like, why would you do that to me, man? I sometimes lose track, and I think that Jensen is Dean, and it's Jared is Sam, and so it's a little bit confusing for me. But it was an intense scene. There was a lot in the original script. It was scripted that it's a fight. That was what we got. We just got that it's a fight. But the way we choreographed it, we just made it kind of more like Dean is beating up Cass, because I think Cass didn't want to fight Dean.
He held back, I think.
He doesn't want to hurt Dean, but at the same time, he's trying to defend himself a little bit. But Dean can be a real dick, especially when he has the mark of Cain. That really makes him a real dick. So yeah, I mean, I think that I don't know. I mean, it seems like we've been through a lot together. I have a feeling that this is the kind of thing that would be forgivable. He didn't kill me. I think that crosses the line. We were good until you killed me, and then I feel like that really came between our friendship. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, my question is kind of on a technical side.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in, since you're doing a lot of knife fighting, are they doing...
None fighting?
Knife.
Okay. How did you know about that? That didn't air yet.
And I'm wondering about how much, I'm sure the knife isn't real, but how much choreography goes into that, and how much prep work do you...
We just wing it, and it's a real, very sharp knife, and we just wing it, and when someone gets cut and is bleeding too badly, we keep going.
Oh, I knew you're funny and clever, but I really would like a real answer.
Shut me down. Okay, alright. Yeah? You want to go? You want to know how much knife fight choreography goes into these little fights?
Yes, I would like to know. I'm interested.
You want to know? It's like, hey, you know, I came here, I paid good money. I want to go home with a piece of real fucking information instead of this pointless banter that goes nowhere. I'm gonna forget it the minute I walk out of the door. This is something I can use because I'm planning to shoot a knife fight soon.
No, it's because I'm very interested.
Okay, why are you so interested?
I'm interested because I like to know the technical aspects of the show. I like the story,
But doesn't
I
it ruin the mystery of like the magic of the movies and all that? Like if you know
I'm an
that-
engineer.
Oh, there is no magic in your life. I understand now where you're coming from. Okay, let's. So how much choreography goes into it?
Yes.
Believe it or not, we actually we plan a lot of it. Most of the stabs are not real. Mostly. Sometimes we use fake knives. Those of you who don't want to have the magic ruined, plug up your ears. But actually, surprisingly, fairly often we have a real knife because apparently people can tell, oh, it doesn't look real because it's floppy. And we do things, I mean, we do full on, you know, like lame high school Shakespeare production, you know. Seriously, there's an episode coming up where I stabbed someone, and I saw what we shot, and I was like, really looks like high school. But the audience doesn't know. They think it's real. Except for you, and now everyone else. For whom the show has been ruined. Now everyone's going to, like, there'll be no adrenaline rush whatsoever in the next knife scene. They'll be like, you know what I heard? Not real. None of this is real. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for pressing on in the face of such great adversity. A lesser woman would have backed down. Not you. Oh, you're coming so close now. Yes. Dangerously close. Uh-huh.
Let's put it this way. When doing any of the stage combat stuff, stunt stuff, physical stuff, has there ever been any hilarious blooper or accident, nosebleeds, broken limbs?
Oh, you mean like really funny stuff?
Really funny stuff.
We've all been injured in some way or another at some point during stunts. We try to be as careful as possible, but we also try to make it look like we're tough at the same time.
I was just wondering if, in the execution of Song, if the Castiel and Colette parallel was a big part of the plot, or it was just something that happened.
Which one was that episode again?
The one where Dean killed Kane.
Oh, is that what it was called? Executioner Song?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. That's a great book.
This is a good episode. I stabbed you in the thigh. Yes.
Yeah, it still hurts. I wonder if that'll make the gag reel. Yeah,
No, because you didn't react. Because you have no feelings.
Inside.
You're dead inside.
Yeah, dude, I went to hell. I came out soulless.
So for those of you who don't know, he went to catch me after Dean killed Kane, and I had a very large, rather pointy knife in my hand that went right into his thigh. And he didn't even react. He grabbed me and finished the scene. He's like, ow. And I'm like, yeah. This is in your leg.
It was, so he comes down, he came down the stairs, right? And Cass and Sam are waiting. That's his knife. That's Kane's knife. He's holding Kane's knife. And he's coming down. And Sam can tell he's about to fall. So I go to catch him. And that went right to my, and I was sort of like, and they're like, cut. Yanked it out, and I was like, he goes, dude, I got you. I was like, yeah, I think he got me. There was a hole in the pants, and it was dark spot.
With blood.
Dark spot was spreading. I had to get luckily I had a tetanus booster, I guess. But yeah, I still have a hole in my
My knives are clean.
And then they wrapped up, and then we had to shoot more, but there was still blood coming out, and so they had to wrap it with gauze. but all that did was make so now blood was coming out like right here and right there. It was like,
That wasn't a good rap job.
yeah, the hole in my leg is fine, but outside of the gauze is still weird.
I'd say it was almost a half inch
It got going.
into your quad there. That was a good one. Anyway,
that was your question,
Yeah,
right?
that was our highlight of that episode.
Hi. I know you guys try to do a lot of your own stunts. Would you mind fighting in slow motion for us?
Don't release that online, because that's actually from episode 11. So, bit of a spoiler alert there. It's the season finale fight scene. That's it, 2 hits, it's done. It's much more difficult to do a kick slow motion. I just found that out. Why am I doing this? This is a horrible move. Is he jumping? Like, where is he going with that? Thank you, thank you. You're gonna rip your pants again. Slow motion, do it. At least I didn't do mine on camera. Burn. He's not lying, I ripped my jeans getting into his car yesterday. And it was like, okay, we're going to the airport? Nope. And Tom's in the backseat going, where's Uncle Jensen going?